Welcome to the Live Free, Love Life podcast, where we discuss how to create more freedom so we can love our lives no matter what we're going through. Hello, friends, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Live Free, Love Life podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to stop being who everyone else wants you to be. Wouldn't it be so amazing if in 2024, you just let go of that? You let go of what everyone else wants for you, and you just totally embraced what you want for you, who you want to be, what you want to do. We could totally ring in 2024 with self-confidence and no apologies. And that is what I want for you. So let's talk about this. As we step into the new year, it is a perfect time to reflect on the importance of being true to ourselves and free ourselves from the expectations of others. They are still going to have expectations. That's what humans do. We all have expectations. But that does not mean that we have to be tied to those expectations. We can totally free ourselves. Just imagine like cutting the rope. We could be free of it. Many of us have spent years conforming to others' expectations. And this can be very limiting, and it can hold us back from living the life that we desire. In today's episode, we are going to explore how the pressure to be who others want you to be can be a major impediment and discuss strategies for breaking free from this trap as you embark on a journey to be who you want to be in 2024. So, what is the burden of being who others want you to be? The first one is a loss of identity. When you constantly conform to others' expectations, you may lose sight of who you truly are and what you genuinely want in life. I cannot tell you how many women I have coached who, when I ask them what they want, they have no idea. None. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they like. They don't know what they enjoy. They don't know what they want. They don't know because they've lost their identity as they are conforming to everyone's expectations of who they should be. Not a fun place to be if you want to live your best life, at least. Number 2 is living for others. This is another problem with these same women. When you're putting others' desires and expectations before your own, it can be exhausting, and it for sure prevents you from pursuing your own dreams and passions. And I'm not saying we don't want to do things for others. Please don't hear that. I'm not saying we should be totally self-centered and not care about anybody else. Screw them. It's all about me. That is not what we're doing here. We're saying you matter. You as a person, you matter. You are just as important as all of those other people. And too often, you are taking you out of the equation. It's all about what they want. It's all about their expectations. It's all about what they need. It's all about helping them. And you are nowhere to be found. We're not saying we need to swing all the way the other direction and say, screw everybody. We're saying we're going to bring you back into the equation because you matter. You are a person who matters. You are important. We need to add you back in. And then the third thing, the third burden of being who others want you to be is regret and unfulfillment. Over time, the regret and sense of unfulfillment that stem from not being true to yourself can lead to a life filled with what ifs and missed opportunities. This is not a fun place to be. When you lose your identity, you only live for other people, and your life is full of regret and unfulfillment. That's what happens when we are conforming to everyone else's expectations and ignoring ourselves. That's what we would love to change in 2024. Wouldn't it be awesome? So, how do we break free from the expectations of others? The first step is self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your values, your interests, your aspirations. Understand what truly matters to you and what you want to achieve in 2024. You can find all sorts of tools and help for this. When it comes to understanding yourself, tons of personality tests. My very favorite's the Enneagram. It's awesome. That's all about knowing who you are. There's lots of really good values exercises. If you join my membership, I have really good values exercises in there just to help you to get to know yourself. What's important to you? What do you care about? What are your values? What are you interested in? What are your aspirations? What do you want? What are some goals you would really love to achieve? If you don't like the word goals, what do you want to do with your life? What's on your bucket list? Get to know yourself. That's step number 1, self-reflection. Number 2, set authentic resolutions. Instead of setting resolutions based on societal or external pressures, create goals and resolutions that resonate with your soul. Focus on your desires and dreams. Just because everyone else has a goal to do this thing, does that mean you need to have a goal to do that thing? And even if the goal on the outside looks the same, for me, when I write my goals, if I write a revenue goal, my brain just doesn't care about that. It doesn't speak to my soul to just have a certain amount of revenue. That goal doesn't do anything for me. It's not an authentic goal. But when I set the goal to create a certain kind of, I love experiences. I love travel. I love having new experiences with people I love. If I could pick an experience that would require me to make money to do it, I'm still creating the same exact amount of revenue. But if my goal is that experience, that sings to my soul. That really resonates with who I am. And if I was just following everyone else, a lot of beginning coaches, they will set a goal to make 100K in a year. That goal is just not going to do much for me. But if I choose, what will that 100K do for me? And I set that as my goal, the thing that I really want, the thing that I yearn for, the things that are important to me, even though it requires me to make 100K to do it, it's going to be a totally different goal. If I just follow all these other coaches, I'm going to be going after that goal to conform to other people's expectations instead of my own. That's what we mean by that. Set authentic resolutions. What lights you up? What would you really love to accomplish? Number 3, learn to say no. Practice setting boundaries and saying no when others' expectations conflict with your own goals and values. It is essential to prioritize your well-being and aspirations. Now, again, this is not where we say, screw everyone else, I only care about me. We are going to say no when they conflict. I love to use the word and. How can I choose them and me? Find ways to do both. But if it goes for them and against you, if it's at your expense, whether that's the expense of your well-being, the expense of your goals, the expense of whatever it is that you want, then that's a no. Because we haven't found a way to love them and us. We want to put you back into the equation. That's what we want to do. Sometimes it is choosing something that seems like it's just for me, but it's not. Because when I let myself do things that light me up, I show up so much better in all of those other things. I'm a much better mom when I am creating my own fulfillment in my life. If I am saying no to everything for me and only doing things for everyone else, I have a lot of resentment about it. And it's really hard to show up as the mom that I want. It's hard to have the relationship I want with my kids. It's hard for me to be there for them in the way that I want to. Whereas when I choose to go after the thing that appears to be just for me, I show up as a way better mom, which means it's not really just for me. It's totally for them. We've got to learn to add ourselves back into the equation. If it is at your expense in any way, learn to say no. That's not what we're doing because you matter. You matter just as much as they do. Let's not choose things that are at your expense. Let's just learn to say no. Number 4, let people think and feel how they want. They get to think whatever they want. And guess what? It's not about you anyway. If their thoughts were about you, then everyone would think that about you. But they don't. Some people think you're the most awesome person on the planet, and other people, you're just not their favorite. If that was about you, everyone would have the same opinion. But it's not about you. It is about them. It is about all of their things in their past, all the programming in their brain, everything they've ever been through, everything that they've ever heard people say. That is what it's about. It's not really about you. And let them feel how they want to feel. It is okay for people to feel disappointed. Disappointed is not a bad emotion. It's part of the human experience. If you do this thing and they feel disappointed, that's okay. Their emotions are not your responsibility. They can choose to feel disappointed. They could also choose something else if they want. And neither of them are a problem because that is part of their experience. We have to let people think and feel how they want to think and feel. On this podcast, we talk about freedom and how our souls yearn for freedom. Give them their freedom back. Let them choose how they want to think. Let them choose how they want to feel. It's none of our business, and it's not even about us. As we let go of other people's expectations, we have to be okay with them thinking or feeling whatever they're going to think and feel about it. And step number 5, choose your people. Choose to build relationships with people who love and accept you as you are. If someone doesn't have the ability to love you, that isn't on you. It doesn't actually change your lovability. Your lovability is set at 100. It can't change. Their ability to love you, that's on them. Find people and purposely put people in your life who have the ability to love you as you are. That will make it so much easier to break free from the expectation of others, because now the people in your life are going to accept you either way. That's so much easier. And I'm not saying you have to cut everyone out of your life that doesn't. I'm saying let's purposely add in some people to show us that that is possible, that we can just be ourselves and be loved. And it's fine, that we don't actually have to conform to the expectations of others. Let's go through them one more time. Number 1, self-reflection. Figure out what it is you want and who you are and what matters to you. 2, set authentic resolutions. Go after things that light you up, not what other people expect or what other people want you to do. What really lights you up. Number 3, learn to say no. When something is at your expense, let's say no. 4, let people think and feel however they want to about it. Let's just give them blanket permission to think and feel however they want. It does not mean that we need to conform to their expectations. It does not mean we need to change anything. And number 5, choose your people. Find people that show your brain, that give your brain evidence that you can just be who you are and do the things that you want and that light you up and that are important to you. And it's okay that you don't actually have to conform to anyone else's expectations. Here's the lie of living for others. One of the reasons we conform to other people's expectations is our desire to be loved. We all want to be loved. Nobody is exempt from this desire. But this reason is a lie. Because being someone who someone else wants you to be, being who they want you to be, so that they will love you. I've heard this reason a lot. This is a common thing. Being who they want you to be so they will love you prevents you from being loved. That thing that you want so desperately, the thing that you want to be loved, being who they want you to be so they'll love you prevents you from getting it. Because the real you, the you that wants to be loved, is nowhere to be found and therefore cannot be loved. Do we see the logic here? When you are someone else, when you're showing up in ways, and I'm not talking about your whole person, it could just be in little ways. When you do something that really doesn't align with who you are, who you want to be, because someone else wants you to, and subconsciously, usually, you think that if you show up the way they want, that they'll love you. But now the you, the real you, the you that wouldn't have done that, hasn't shown up. The real you is not there to be loved. You prevent yourself from being loved when your brain falls into this trap. It is a lie. It is one of the ways our brains lie to us. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, for sure, message me and I will go through it again, because I want you all to see you are making sure that people cannot love you when you don't show up as you, because you aren't there to be loved. A pretend version of you is there, and they might be loved, but that's not really you. That's not who you are. The real you has no chance of being loved, that thing that we all desire, when the real you isn't showing up to the relationship, to the event, to the activity. When the real you doesn't show up, the real you has zero chance of being loved. And that is what we all want. Here are some questions to consider. Where are you doing or being something because of someone else's expectation? What will it take to let them think whatever they think? What will it take to let them feel whatever they feel? What will it take to let them feel disappointed? What will it take to let them feel hurt? Why aren't you allowing yourself to be who you want to be? All right, embracing who you are and being who you want to be is a powerful resolution for the new year, if you want it. Recognize that the burden of living up to other people's expectations can hold you back from realizing your full potential and finding true fulfillment. Breaking free from this trap by reflecting on your values, setting authentic resolutions, learning to say no when necessary, letting people judge you, and surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage you to be you. This is what can help us break free from this trap. As you embark on this journey, remember that being unapologetically you is the key to a fulfilling and satisfying year ahead. Live free, love life. Thank you for watching this episode of Live Free, Love Life. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next time.